So here in this compass survey, you are going to learn about angles and you are going to learn about directions. So you are going to learn what is meridian, what is bearing, what is magnetic bearing, what is true bearing. Then you are going to know about the equipments for measuring the bearings. There is compass. You have two types of compass which you are going to study: prismatic compass and surveyor's compass. Then you are going to learn how the compass is worked with. Then you are going to learn about bearing systems, that is quadrantal bearing and whole circle bearing system. Then local attraction, then the problem solving. Then you are going to learn about traverse surveying, where you are going to learn about a series of lines, how they are being surveyed, like how the length is measured and how the angle is measured for the connected lines, series of connected lines. Then you are going to learn about the new terms called latitude and departure. Then you know how to transfer the data from the field to paper. And then when you come across the error in the paper or the data what you have measured in the field, how to rectify that data. For that you have Bowditch rule and transit rule. Then you are going to learn about some of the problems here. So this is all about second module. Second module is all about the directions and angles. Then in the third module, you are going to learn about the labeling, the very important topic in survey. Third module is very important as a civil engineer because you are going to learn about labeling. Labeling is all about having your distance, vertical difference in the points measured. For an example, as I have told you, a ground will not have a proper slope, or properly horizontal. When you know that the ground is not horizontal, when it is inclined, you should know what is the inclination. You should know if there are 2 points on the ground, how much one point is higher than the other, or how much one point is lower than the other. So such a thing you are going to learn here, which is called as labeling. So a relative difference between the ground points is being checked. So labeling also helps you to get the horizontal, horizontal floor in your house. And if you observe, all the windows in your building will have same label. That is being done with the help of labeling. So you are going to know what is labeling means. You are going to learn basics terms associated with labeling. Then you are going to learn what different methods you have. Then the equipment called dumpy level, to check the level of a particular ground. You are going to use this equipment called dumpy level. Then you are going to learn auto level, and then digital level, then laser level. So these are the different equipments what you are going to learn. And then the corrections like curvature correction and refraction correction. So whenever you use these equipments like dumpy level or auto level, so they may have some errors because of the atmosphere in which they are working, and there may be the correction to be applied because of the Earth's surface. Earth's surface is a spheroidal shape. Earth has got a spheroidal shape, you know that. So having horizontal plane on a spherical ground, so you should know what corrections to be applied. Then you should know how to record the things from the dumpy level, whatever readings you get from the dumpy level, how to enter them into a label. Then differential labeling is one of the type of labeling, profile labeling, fly labeling. These are the different types of labeling which you are going to learn in this module. And you are going to know how exactly the difference between the 2 points is assessed with the help of the equipment. So one of the very important module is third module. Then fourth module is all about plane table surveying. One more way of surveying is plane table surveying. So here observation and drawing takes place simultaneously. So in earlier cases, you work out for the things in the field, then you get the data, then you sit in the office, then you draw the whole thing into a drawing. So that is what generally happens with earlier things what you are going to learn. But in plane table surveying, here the observation as well as the drawing takes place simultaneously. So whenever you carry out both observation as well as drawing at a same place, so we need a place or a table on which the drawing paper is being mounted. Then you need some accessories where observation is being made, and then the drawing is made in the same place where the observation is taken. So observation as well as drawing will be done in the place of construction only. So you are going to learn about plane table surveying. Plane table is one equipment where the things will be facilitated. So plane table comes with a table and a tripod stand and its accessories. And then you are going to learn how exactly you are going to work with the plane table, what different methods you have, like radiation, intersection, traversing, then what are the advantages of plane table surveying over the other. And then if at all, if I have to continue my work for a number of days, so to continue my problem in the same paper, how I am going to begin, that is orientation. So orientation, how it is done, that is what you are going to learn. Then 2-point problem, 3-point problems. So how you are going to start your continue your problem for the next day when you have stopped your work on the previous day with the same paper, how you are going to start using 2-point problem and 3-point problem. Then you have the solution for 2-point problem by graphical way or by 3-point problem from Bessel's graphical method. So that is what you are going to learn in your 4th module. Then in the 5th module, you are going to learn about area measurement and volume measurement. So if at all the surveying is carried out and if you have the data with you, so how to measure the area with the data available. So in all the 4 modules, you are going to tell how the measurement is done. And in the 5th module, you are going to study how the data is used to calculate the areas and volumes. So areas are generally required for the surveyors because or civil engineers, because we always deal with the areas, be it place of construction or the agricultural land. Whenever you measure, you want to measure the length, not only to get the length, you also want to measure the length to get the areas. For an example, imagine if you have a rectangle and a rectangle area, if I have to measure, then I need to measure two sides of the rectangle, that's it. So I need to measure the length to get the area of the rectangle. So areas, how they are measured, I'm not talking only about the fixed shapes like rectangles. So when you become a civil engineer, you will not always deal with the rectangle or a square or some fixed shape like circle or something. You have to have some odd shapes measured, and you need to get the area of that particular land. And not only area, you are supposed to measure even the volumes. Volumes are generally required whenever you want to measure the area to get in the place of construction where the dams are being constructed, or if you want to know volumes even for the construction of the roads. Imagine if I have to construct a road, then definitely road is being constructed at some height from the natural ground, and to rise that height of the road formation or the top surface of the road, if I have to keep at some height from the natural ground, you know why it is kept higher than natural ground? Because whenever it rains, water should not be having its place on the road. Water should be drained off immediately. So that is the reason why you keep your uh, why we keep the road level at a higher level compared to natural ground, because you want to have your water drained off immediately from the road surface. And whenever you want to raise the surface of road to a higher level, you need to fill up that gap between the natural earth and the road surface with the help of soil. So you might have seen the road construction. First soil layer is being put, then on the top of the soil layer, then you find large stone aggregates are being laid. Then over the aggregate you will find smaller stones are being put, and on the top you are going to find the black aggregate, black top of the road, so being laid out. That is actual pavement we call. So you find that initially we put soil there, right? So that soil volume is required. How much volume of soil is required for the construction of the road is required. So for that you need to know how to measure the volumes. So that is why areas and volumes are very important for civil engineers. So to measure area and volume, you have number of methods like ordinate method, offset method, then trapezoidal method, Simpson's one-third rule. So there are different ways of measuring areas and volumes which you are going to learn in this module. Then finally you are going to learn about contours. Contours will tell you how the ground profile is. Contours are nothing but the lines. These are the lines which will have the same height. Same height in the sense elevation. It is very hard to understand right now for you people what exactly is contour, but you should know that contours will help you to understand how the ground profile is. So this is all about the entire subject, what you are going to study in this subject, starting from the first module to the last module. Then to help you with the textbooks which you need to refer for this subject. So as I have told you, question semester and examination will have 100 marks. So that will be converted to 60 marks. So 100 marks means for every module there will be 2 questions, and each question will carry 20 marks. So there are 5 modules. So 5 modules, each module 2 questions means you will have total 10 questions. So 5 modules, 10 questions. Each module will have 2 questions, and each question will have 20 marks. And you need to answer one full question, taking one from each module, right? So you should not write 2 questions from the single module. So there will be OR option. So you need to select one question from every module and you need to answer for 100 marks, right? And the textbooks which you are going to refer, majorly most of the people use this textbook, that is textbook by the author called B.C. Punmiya. So B.C. Punmiya is the person or the author who has written the textbook, and the name of the textbook is Surveying Volume 1, right? So volume 1, you need to keep this in your mind because the same person has written number of subjects with the same title, surveying, but volume 1, volume 2, volume 3, like this. The syllabus what you have for this subject will have its place in surveying volume 1. So B.C. Punmiya Surveying Volume 1 is the textbook which you are supposed to refer. Other than this, you have subjects, similar textbook from different authors, like Kanitkar is one person, Duggal is one more person, Arora, Subramanian, Bannister, different authors are available. So most of the time, so all the students refer B.C. Punmiya as one of the textbook for this subject, right? So this is all about the entire subject, basic surveying. Okay, so to start with, we will begin with the first module, introduction. So in your next video. So thank you.